Hi everybody, Judy Tuttle here with Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Midland, Texas, and I'm here today with day 2 of my online card class to go. Yesterday I showed you 3 fabulous cards. I'll show you those in just a second. Today I'm doing a fun fold. And I'm hoping to squeeze in a 3D tomorrow, but if not, it'll be on Thursday. I have a busy day tomorrow. So I'm going to do my best to get it in tomorrow, but I might have to delay it until Thursday morning, and I know you guys will all understand that. All right, so we are about 5/8 of the way through celebration. Can you tell I used to be a math teacher? And celebration is a great time to, let me grab my books here. Order and get things for free. Okay, so for every $60 order, you get to pick something out of this awesome celebration, or they just released a whole new series of things that you can get for free on this flyer right here. I have pinned this flyer in my Tuttle Up Stamping page. Oh my goodness, Lisa, snow, 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 right? Sorry about that. No snow here in the desert. So anyway, I hope you survived the snow. I also want to tell you that I have this great class coming up using the Memorable Blooms bundle. It'll be on February. Someone told me that I said the wrong date, and maybe I did. February 22nd, which is a Saturday from 2 to 4. It'll be here at my house, or you can get it to go. Either way, okay? The class is only $20. If you're taking it to go, you'll have to pay shipping, unless you put in an order in my online store of $25 or more, and then it's shipped for free, okay? And the class is free. So that's your best bet right there. It's a great class for the beginner stamper, simple cards. It's going to be my thing every month now to do a class with just some simple cards. So I hope you will think about joining me for that class, either in person or to go. Linked together is the Craft Along event. It ends tomorrow. Registration for that. You will make 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs, and a 3D item. These cards are stunningly gorgeous. We're going to use some mats. They come with these mats, with these dies. If you don't own this bundle and you'd like to take this Craft Along class to go, you'll need to add that on at some point, either through, if you're a demonstrator, through your own order or through me. I would love that. Terrific Toadstools is a class I have coming up in March for everybody who spends over $180 during celebration. So strive for that. It's free, shipped free. Everything's given to you for free. But you have to qualify with $180 or more during celebration. And then last, great time to join my team. I want you here. I don't know if you saw some of my pictures last night of my cards and cookies. Fantastic event. About half those people are demonstrators or part of my team, and we have a great community and a great time together. Even if you live far away, we have monthly team meetings via Zoom. And you can always join us. So I would love for you to be a part of my Tuttle Up Stamping team. All right, so I'm going to get right to what we're doing today. We are doing a fun fold, and let me go to my hands here so you can see that. And I might need to adjust my camera just a little bit. There we go. Maybe just a tiny bit more. What do you guys think? Just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more that way. There we go. See if we can get it to stay right there. Good morning, Brenda. You're going to love my card today. It's a great fun fold card. Okay, so these are the cards I made yesterday with the Darling Dinos. Roar, you're the best. That had, hi, Teresa Green. Thanks for joining me. Oh, great. Where do you live, Teresa? I can't remember. So this is one of the cards we made yesterday. Roar means you're the best in dinosaur. This is another one. I loved this one. Tons of die cuts on this one, right? And it says roar on the front, but on the inside it means happy birthday in dinosaur. Super cute, right? And the third card we made was this one with all the circles highlighting each of those dinosaurs, and just some balloons inside. It says, hope your birthday is dynamite. I love that. Super cute. Well, today we're going to make a really cool, fun fold card, and it's a lot easier than it looks. So this is it. It says roar means I love you in dinosaur. You can see I added some hearts to the background with the dinosaur. But the cool thing about this card is it pops open like this. Pops open like this, and that panel inside swings. It's a swinging panel. This is called a tent easel card. Super cute. You guys know how I love cards that sit up on somebody's desk or their bookshelf or whatever. I know a little boy that I'm going to be giving this one to soon, so I think he'll love that. So let me show you how to make this. What I love about it, like I said, is it's a lot easier than it looks. So we're starting off with, I'm just going to pull everything out here and hope I keep track of it okay. We are starting with a piece of boho blue that is 4 1/4 by 11 and scored in the middle at 5 1/2. So it's going to open this way. 4 1/4 by 11 scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Okay, let me say that again. 4 1/4 by 11 scored in the middle at 5 1/2. Okay, I'm going to grab my bone folder, get a really good crease on that fold right there. Okay, then I've grabbed 2 pieces of that timeless plaid paper. We're going to use this one on the front and the opposite side on the inside of the card. Okay, so I can go ahead and put this panel right here on the front. Grab my liquid glue here. There we go. Well, you know, I feel like this is a daily thing, and I don't understand it because I'm really good about cleaning out my tips after this even had the pin in it, but we'll try again here. There we go. I'm going to add just a tiny, and in this case, it's a good idea to get it in the middle pretty good here, okay? Because we're going to cut that hole out, and we don't want that DSP popping up on us there. So this panel is going to go right here on the front. Right like that. Okay, now I'm going to create a hole in the front of my card, and to do that I'm going back to those awesome Everyday Skies dies, and I'm using the arch die that is about 2 3/4 inches along the bottom edge right here. Okay, so it's the 5th largest. All right, and I'm going to put this on the front of this card right here. I'm going to secure it with my Post-it note tape. And the nice thing is the plaid on this paper really makes it super easy. I might go down just a touch more to line things up straight. I'm going to put and then I'm going to open it up like this and run it through my die cutting machine, and it'll create that hole. So I'm going to do that off camera here real quick. And you can use any shape here you wanted. In fact, the video I watched on how to make this card used a rectangle instead of these arches. But I just think the arches are perfect for the dinosaurs. It kind of makes it look like a cave, I think. So I like that about it. Okay. All right. That's going to be a good place for an embellishment right there. My Post-it note tape tore my DSP just a little bit, but it's going to be fine. Makes it look rustic. Okay, so I have this arch right here now. Thank you, Chelsea. Thanks for coming on. Okay, so then what do I want to do next? I'm going to create my easel on the inside, And to create the inside easel, you're going to cut a panel that is 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. I'm putting this up here close so you can snap a picture real quick if you want to. And then I scored it at 5/8, 1 1/2, 2 3/8, 3 1/4, and 4 1/8. Okay, I'm going to hold that there just a couple of more seconds. Okay, all right. Now I'm going to grab my bone folder, and these outside flaps, I want them to go up like this. So I'm going to do that on both sides. That's what's going to stick to my card to create this easel. And you really need to fold this, use the bone folder and get a really good crease. Okay, and then you're just going to accordion fold it all the way across on those folds right there. And again, grab your bone folder, get a really good crease on those accordions. Okay, it's going to look right like that. Okay, so we're going to start with the inside, and this panel right here, this first edge, we're going to add some glue to it. Okay, and then I want this score line right here to be even with the bottom edge of my card. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. I'm going to attach this flap to the inside of my card right here, matching the score line to the bottom edge, right like that. The sides might need to be evened out a little bit. It looks good to me. Okay, so I'm going to press that in really well and get it adhered very well. Now I'm going to open the whole thing, and you can see you have a little crease like there. And it doesn't bother me much, but the nice thing is we're going to add the opposite side of this designer series paper to the inside, and it's going to cover up that seam just a little bit there. Okay, so let me grab my liquid glue again. Going to add some around the edges and a little bit on the inside. And we're going to adhere this, which is the opposite side of the paper on the front, to the inside right here. So I had an awesome event last night. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures on my Tuttle Up Stamping page on Facebook, or my personal page if you're friends with me, and of a cookies and cards class I had last night. I partnered with a lady here in town who's a cookie designer and cookie maker, and we had an awesome night of Valentine fun. I'm going to grab my bone folder, get this all. Again, it's really important to get good creases on all your edges here. Okay, so now this is going to be glued to the front. I'm going to add lots of liquid glue here, get a really good adhesion on this easel. Fold this over, and it'll all match up right there on that edge. This one wants to come a little bit off, but I'm going to straighten that up. There we go. Okay, then, aw, thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Chelsea. It is adorable. You're going to love this. I know you love the dinosaurs. So there you go, you guys. That creates the easel. Okay, at the bottom of our card right there. Super cute, right? Now, what I've done is I have cut the next smallest arch, and I cut it in pebbled path. So I just went down one more size from the size I used. The base of this one is 2 1/4 inches, and it's going to fit nicely right inside that arch right there. So before I put that inside, though, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping at the top. I've got this heart stamp from the Dinos. I'm going to grab my, and this is the only 3 colors I'm using today, boho blue and pebbled path. Those are the, oh, well, and memento, of course. Okay. So I'm going to grab my little heart and I'm going to stamp a few hearts right up here next to where the dinosaur is going to be. Okay. I'm going to grab my basic white here, and you can see I already did the other half of this paper. So I'm going to stamp dinosaur, 2 pebbles, 2 flowers, okay? All in Memento black ink. So I'm going to do 2 flowers. Sunflowers, I think they are. There we go. 2 pebbles. There we go. And 1 dinosaur. There we go. Then I'm going to start coloring with my blends. So the only colors I'm using today are, it was called a floating tint fold card, Teresa. Floating tint card is what it said. Okay, so I'm going to start with my dino here. I'm going to color his little toenails with this pebbled path. This is light pebbled path. His whole body with light boho blue. You know, I like to outline everything first, and then fill in the center. That's just my way. Okay, and then I'm going to do his spots in dark boho blue here for a little contrast. There we go. Now, of course, my rocks are going to be pebbled path. I'm going to start with light. In the center of my sunflowers here are going to be light pebbled path as well, so I'm going to go ahead and color those in. Okay, I'm going to grab my dark and just do some of these lines on the rocks here. For a little shading. So everybody that came to my event last night got the January paper pumpkin kit, which includes everything to make 9 Valentine cards. And then they got to make 2 designer cookies with my friend Heather. Okay, now I'm going with the light wild wheat, and I'm coloring the petals of my flower with that. I think I'm going to use my other tip here, my bullet tip instead of the brush tip. There we go, that's better. Gives me a little more control over those little petals there. Oh my goodness, Chelsea. Well, maybe there'll be a school day tomorrow, so there must be a big storm coming through, huh? And then Old Olive for the leaves on my sunflower here. Now, something I like to do, it's totally optional. You guys who've been watching me the last few weeks have seen me do this. It's kind of my new thing, is I want to take my light pebbled path and outline my dinosaur so that the white edges are not so stark against the background of my pebbled path background. Okay. Now, your white edges may not bother you at all, and sometimes they don't bother me, to be perfectly honest, but I really felt like on this card, those white edges kind of took away from the cave effect of the card I was making. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just kind of outlining everything in this pebbled path. That way when I cut it, the white edges won't be so stark against the cave background. There we go. It is 48 degrees here. That's pretty normal for winter in Midland. Last week we had some 80-degree days though, which is kind of crazy to me. But that would happen occasionally up north too, I think. Maybe not 80 degrees, but some warmer days, right? The fake, what do they call that? Indian summer or something like that. Can't remember. And I'm doing the same thing with my pebbles here. I'm outlining them so that the white edges are not so stark. Okay, there we go. Now I can just start die cutting these out and building my cave. So I'm going to grab my dino dies. And I have a die here for my big dinosaurs. Oh, that's fun. That's a cute idea, Teresa. I like that. I don't mind fussy cutting or die cutting, either one. Okay, so that's going to go right there. It's going to just keep everything a little more forgiving too, to be able to outline those things in that pebbled path. So if you get it a little wonky, it's not going to be so noticeable. Okay, so I'm going to run this 3 over here on my die cutting machine. And I have to do it twice because I have 2 pebbles and 2 flowers, right? So here's my dinosaur. Here's 1 pebble. Here's my flower. And then I'm going to do that one more time for my second flower and my other pebble. And put my dinosaur die away. Thank you, Lisa. I hope you guys love it. It's just so fun. I love fun folds. And sometimes I get bored doing, and so when I find doing the same ones over and over again, right? I love when I find a new fun fold that works perfectly for the bundle or set that I'm using. Okay, so here's another flower, here's another pebble, and we are done with all of our coloring and die cutting, so I can put that away. All right, so now I'm just going to build it all right here on my cave, inside my cave. That's what I'm calling it. It's not really a cave, but putting a little liquid glue. I'm going to put this sunflower up just a tad, right like that. I'm going to put my other Thanks, Chelsea. I like it too. And, you know, like I said, the good thing about it is, and I'll show you here in just a second what I'm talking about. I'm going to put this sunflower just a little bit lower here on this side. You can tell here that my dino was cut just a little bit off, and normally if it was white I would trim that with my scissors, but because it has that outline, it's gonna be more forgiving, right? So that is the cool thing about that. It kind of helps you out with, um, I know all of us have die cut before and it's turned out a little wonky and you're like, darn it. Then you either want to stamp and do it again, or you want to um, cut around it and figure it out, right? Which is kind of annoying sometimes. Okay, so I'm grabbing my dimensionals and I'm adding them here to the back of my dino. He's going to pop up there in that center of that arc cave. I'm calling it a cave. Pull those off, and then this little dino is just going to pop right up there. I might pull him over just a tiny bit. Gosh, those dimensionals, you put them down, man, you are committed. Okay, there we go. There's my dino. So now I'm going to adhere this right here to the inside of my cave, okay? And I'm going to use just flat glue with that. I've got my liquid glue out, so I'm just going to continue on in that vein. And I know you guys are dying to know how this is going to float, right? So I'm going to show you. So easy. So easy. Some smart person out there figured it all out for me. Okay, and so now I'm going to grab my gems. These are the gems we're using on all of our products this week. Our card projects. Tinsel Gems 4-pack is what it's called. Tinsel Gems 4-pack. There's always replay. Yes, Lisa. And really, you probably just missed me coloring the dino. And, okay, so these are adhesive back. I'm going to put the yellow ones inside my sunflower here. You can still see that that pebbled path in the center is going to show through just a tiny bit. And then I'm just going to sprinkle on some of these blue ones. Around my dino here. Okay, there we go. So now here comes the fun part, is how to make this float on the inside here, right? So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of boho blue that I have cut that is, oh, nice. Yeah, Lisa, go back and watch the replay. It's pretty easy, really. Okay, so this piece is 1.5 by 1.5, and I scored it right down the middle at 3/4. Okay, it's a square. I'm going to fold this in half along that 3/4 inch mark, and I'm going to burnish that edge really well. I'm going to turn this over, and one side of this is going to go. I'm going to put glue on one side of it. Okay. And it's going to go as close to the top of that arch as I can get it, right like that. I'm going to press down on it. Boop. Okay. And that flap is what's going to help it fold. Okay. It's what's going to help it float. Now, I'm going to put glue on this other side, but this time I'm going to use Seal Plus because it might take, I want to get a really good adhere to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn this around, fold it all flat. I'm going to slip that arch right back in where it was before. Everything's going to line up, and I'm just going to press that down. Okay, now look at this. How cute is that? That's going to cause that floating part in the center. That little flap right there. Cute, huh? Isn't that cute how that does that? It's a really cool 3D effect, I think. Okay, so now I'm almost done. All I have to do is put my sentiment on the front. And again, I'm using a little bit of this ribbon. Okay, hang on. Well, good night, Agnes, Irene, Fred. Here we go. I'm going to just have to cut another piece because, you know, the piece I cut doesn't seem to be evident right here. Okay, so this is that jute twine, the 23 to 25 jute twine. And I am cutting a length off of it. And then it's really thick. And I don't want that much thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of pull these strands apart at the end where I cut it. And I'm going to take one of those jute threads and I'm just going to pull it out like this of my, any of you are cross stitchers, you know how to do that with the threads, right? Okay, so this is going to go on the front as well. So I'm going to stamp this. It's going to say roar roar means blank in dinosaur. And for this one, I'm going to stamp it in pebbled path. Seems to be one of our, you're awesome, Chelsea. Thank you. Chelsea's giving all the item numbers there to help you guys out. Roar means circles are forgiving too. So that's awesome. And then I have a skinny piece of white. I thought, but it's okay. We're going to use a piece of white here. Things must have fallen on the ground because I had all these things cut. So let me put my blends away. I'm going to pull out I Love You, and it's going to be stamped in boho blue. So you guys know you can get a card kit in the mail to make one of each of these projects. By just placing a $45 order or more. There we go. I love you. In my online store. However, you will need the Dino bundle. I will not be stamping anything for you. That's against Stampin' Up! Policy. So, and I like my job, so I want to keep it. Okay, so I'm just trimming that off. About 3/8 of an inch is what you need. I found like a 1/2 inch was a little too wide to fit in that space. So I feel like 3/8 inch is perfect. Cutting it down. There we go. I love you. So this is going to be attached right here in the center of that circle. And I just used flat glue this time. I thought this had enough puffiness in it. Probably didn't need another layer of puffy. All right. There we go. So cute. I know a little boy named Lincoln that's going to get this card. Okay. And then in this corner right here is where I want this jute twine to go. So I'm going to start by just kind of weaving it around, put a little seal on there. And weaving this around and through so it just peeks out the side of my card right there like that. Okay? Let me cut this down with scissors. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals right in the corner right here of my frame. Maybe even up a little higher and cover that spot I had right there. So let's do that. I'm going to have dimensionals. You don't want any adhesive to go into the inside of that frame because then it'll stick to the dinosaur and it won't float the way we want it to. So here we go. I'm using mini dimensionals just right on that corner right there. And there we go. There's our card for today. How cute is that? Roar means I love you. And dinosaur, you've got the dinosaur in his little cave. It pops up. It's floating. I like it. I like it. I wish you guys could see it from my view because it really is pretty cute how it just pops up there and gives a really cool 3D effect to the card. So fun, right? Okay, so there's my card for today. That is our fun fold card. Here are the cards from the day before, yesterday. So if you haven't watched that video, it's still there, right, Lisa? The replay is awesome. So tomorrow or Thursday, I'm hoping tomorrow, I will be here with um, I will be here with a 3D box project using our dinosaurs. I think it's going to be fun. And until then, God bless everybody. Thank you for joining me. Think about joining my uh, linked together. I always want to call it LinkedIn. Linked together class, craft along class for this month, and my memorable balloons class, either in person or to go, coming up soon as well. So I will see you tomorrow. Look on my Facebook page. I will give you some notice about when I will be here with you, either tomorrow or Thursday. So see you soon. Bye bye.